In 1900, a group of sponge divers discovered an ancient shipwreck beneath the waters of the Mediterranean Sea. Among statues, coins, and forgotten treasures, they recovered a small collection of corroded bronze fragments. At first they seemed unremarkable, but hidden inside those fragments was a discovery that would puzzle historians, engineers, and scientists for more than a century. Because someone in the ancient world had created a machine unlike anything anyone expected to find. For centuries, the Mediterranean Sea has guarded the remains of ships lost to storms, war, and time. Some carried grain, others transported marble, wine, and valuable works of art across the ancient world. One of those ships sank sometime during the 1st century BC, near the small Greek island of Antikythera. Its final journey ended beneath the sea, where it remained untouched for almost 2,000 years. In the spring of 1900, everything changed. A group of Greek sponge divers, sheltering from rough weather, decided to search the seabed while they waited for the storm to pass. What they discovered was astonishing. Scattered across the ocean floor were bronze statues, marble sculptures, glassware, coins, and countless other artifacts from the ancient world. Archaeologists quickly realized they were looking at one of the most important shipwrecks ever discovered. As recovery work continued, hundreds of objects were carefully lifted from the seabed. Many immediately attracted attention, others didn't. Among the recovered artifacts was a heavily corroded lump of bronze. It was damaged, encrusted with mineral deposits, and looked little different from countless other fragments recovered from the wreck. At first, no one realized its true importance. It would take months before researchers noticed something hidden beneath the corrosion, something that would completely change the way they looked at this forgotten object. Months after the artifacts arrived in Athens, researchers began carefully examining each object recovered from the shipwreck. Many of the statues could be identified almost immediately. The bronze fragment received far less attention. It appeared badly damaged, its surface covered in thick layers of corrosion after nearly 2,000 years beneath the sea. Then, quite by accident, the fragment broke apart. What researchers saw inside stopped them in their tracks. Hidden beneath the corrosion were carefully cut bronze gears, not one but dozens. Tiny teeth precisely engineered to fit together. Nothing about them looked accidental. This wasn't a decorative object. It wasn't part of a statue. Someone had deliberately designed this mechanism. At the beginning of the 20th century, no one had ever discovered anything quite like it from the ancient world. The discovery raised an immediate question. Not what the object was, but how something so mechanically complex had been created more than 2,000 years ago. For years, the fragment remained difficult to understand. Much of it had been destroyed by corrosion. Entire sections were missing. Whatever this object had once been, time had erased much of its story. But researchers refused to give up. As technology improved throughout the 20th century, new generations of scientists returned to the mechanism, hoping modern techniques could reveal what earlier investigators could not. For decades, the Antikythera mechanism remained one of archaeology's greatest puzzles. Researchers could see the gears, but they couldn't see how they all worked together. Many of the most important parts were still hidden beneath layers of corrosion. Taking the mechanism apart wasn't an option. It was simply too fragile. For years, scientists could only make educated guesses. Then, towards the end of the 20th century, everything changed. Advances in X-ray imaging allowed researchers to look inside the fragments without damaging them. For the first time, they could trace the gears, read faint inscriptions, and begin reconstructing the machine piece by piece. What slowly emerged was extraordinary. This wasn't a simple calendar, nor was it just an ornament. Researchers now believe the mechanism was designed to calculate the movements of the Sun and Moon, predict lunar and solar eclipses, track astronomical cycles, and possibly even represent the movements of the planets known to the ancient Greeks. In other words, someone had built a mechanical device capable of modelling the heavens, not through magic, but through mathematics. Every gear, every wheel, every engaged inscription had been carefully designed for a purpose. Yet even as scientists uncovered more of its function, new questions began to appear. If people possessed the knowledge to build a machine like this, who taught them? Who commissioned it? And perhaps most intriguingly, was this truly a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, or simply the only example that survived? The more researchers learned about the Antikythera mechanism, the more remarkable it became. But understanding how the machine worked didn't answer every question. In many ways, it created even more. To this day, no one knows exactly who designed it. There are theories. Some historians believe it may have been built on the Greek island of Rhodes, a centre of astronomy, mathematics and engineering during the ancient world. Others have suggested it may have drawn upon ideas developed by some of history's greatest scientific minds. But despite decades of research, no workshop has ever been discovered. No written record describes its construction. No inventor ever signed their name. The identity of the person or people who created it remains unknown. Then there's another mystery. Why was it aboard that ship? The vessel carried valuable sculptures, luxury goods, and works of art designed for wealthy Roman buyers. Was the mechanism simply another expensive object being transported across the Mediterranean? Was it a scientific instrument commissioned by an influential scholar? Or perhaps it belonged to someone who understood exactly how extraordinary it really was. No one can say for certain. Then comes perhaps the biggest question of all. Was this machine unique? Or is it simply the only one that survived? History has a habit of preserving extraordinary things by accident. Libraries have burned, cities have fallen, knowledge has been lost. If this ship had completed its journey safely, the Antikythera mechanism may never have been discovered at all. And if one example survived beneath the sea, how many others have simply disappeared forever? More than a century after its discovery, the Antikythera mechanism continues to be studied by archaeologists, engineers and astronomers around the world. With every new scan, every reconstruction and every piece of research, our understanding grows a little clearer. Today, we know far more about the mechanism than the divers who first recovered it from the seabed in 1900. But perhaps its greatest achievement isn't simply what it could do. It's what it reveals about the people who created it. For generations, the ancient world was often imagined as a place of simple tools and limited technology. The Antikythera mechanism tells a different story. It reminds us that 2,000 years ago, there were people capable of remarkable mathematics, precision engineering, and an extraordinary understanding of the skies above them. It also reminds us how fragile knowledge can be. Sometimes, history doesn't lose its greatest achievements because they were impossible. It loses them because no one was left to pass them on. Perhaps that is the real mystery of the Antikythera mechanism. Not that one remarkable machine survived, but that so little else did. The Antikythera mechanism isn't mysterious because no one understands it. It remains mysterious because so many parts of its story have been lost. We may never know who designed it, who carried it aboard that ancient ship, or whether other machines like it once existed. Yet after more than 2,000 years beneath the sea, it continues to challenge our understanding of the ancient world. Sometimes history doesn't whisper its secrets. It leaves behind just enough evidence to remind us how much we still have left to discover. And sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones history almost forgot. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Until next time, stay curious.